The Yan Alliance war story arc begins. Finally, we will see our favorite characters: the Ice Emperor, Queen Medusa, Xiao Yan's brothers, and many others. This will be the most intense part of the story. Battles involving dozens of Douluo. Kylin, who led the alliance during Xiao Yan's absence, faced enormous responsibility. At that time, she was the strongest person in the Jia Empire. But the enemies were far too many. Just imagine how difficult it was for her. On the eve of battle, the enemy forces, the Heavenly Lion sect, supported by the Hall of Souls, had grown sharply in strength. They had 30 Douluo and began actively conquering other sects, setting their sights on the Yan Alliance, now led by Queen Medusa. The enemy demanded her surrender, but she firmly refused. As a result, Kylin and her allies retreated to a fortress called the Mysterious Yellow Fortress. This is where the decisive battle will take place. What kind of place is this? The fortress occupied a strategically important location. It majestically stood between two mountain peaks. Due to the piercing wind and imposing mountains, even an ordinary Donghua emperor would not dare to try to infiltrate this place. This location was of great significance for the Yan Alliance, second only to their main base in the Jia Empire. If this fortress were to fall, their defense across a 1,000-kilometer radius would collapse, forcing the Yan Alliance to retreat back to the Jia Empire. This would undoubtedly nullify the alliance's already strained progress. While Xiao Yan and Suner were still in the Heavenly Tomb, Queen Medusa and the others who remained began organizing the defense. Members of the alliance such as Kylin, Xiao Yan, and Yao Tianhua returned to assist. Over 60 Douluo participate in the battle at the fortress, including the 4th and 9th Tianzuns of the Hall of Souls. The Yellow Fortress arc is essentially a deadly clash between the Yan Alliance and the Heavenly Lion sect. During the years of Xiao Yan's absence after leaving the Jia Empire, the alliance, under the leadership of Queen Medusa and other allies, had grown into one of the 3 strongest powers in the northwest region of the continent. Yao Chen initially sent Xiao Yan, Kylin, and Yao Tianhua as reinforcements. Master Yao Lao personally created a spatial portal, a wormhole, for quickly transporting reinforcements to the mysterious Yellow Fortress. This is extremely important. If Xiao Yan had simply flown there, it would have taken at least 2 months, and by then it would have been too late to arrive in time. The Great War between the Heavenly Lion sect, backed by the Hall of Souls, and the Yan Alliance breaks out in full scale. The scenes are spectacular and explosive. Moreover, Kylin and Wutong join the battle. But the main force is Queen Medusa. Her new form in the state of a Douluo is dazzlingly beautiful. Behind her, the characteristic ring of light associated with Douluo has now appeared. Her new appearance turned out quite well. A cloak with a high collar was also added. However, regarding this collar, honestly, it was a terrible decision. With the snake-like scales, it resembles a cobra and only spoils the overall appearance. In the scene, she appears holding a red whip, soars into the sky, and immediately rushes straight at the leader of the Heavenly Lion sect, Xiao. Although Xiao is a 6-star Douluo and Medusa herself is only 5-star, she is completely unafraid. For Xiao Yan and for the Yan Alliance, she fights to the death, engaging Xiao in a fierce battle. The Heavenly Lion sect, supported by the Hall of Souls, deployed 30 Douluo to the front line, while the Yan Alliance could only gather 10. The power gap was too great. As the pillar of stability for the alliance, Medusa had to fight Xiao one-on-one to buy time for the fortress. Although Medusa's level was slightly lower, her secret snake-like techniques were clearly superior. In several exchanges, she could always evade Xiao's powerful attacks and then counter with whip techniques, forcing Xiao to retreat again and again. Kylin's return also disproves the rumors that her character was removed. The only thing missing is footage of Xiao. It seems the creators are still deliberately keeping her hidden. From the trailer, it's clear that Kylin is not only beautiful but has also changed in personality. She used to be fiery, cold, and arrogant. But now, thanks to subtle changes made by the creators, she has become more composed and gentle. This may be related to the fact that she now has a daughter, Xiao, and overall has become more mature and balanced. Her facial features especially have changed. Now she radiates femininity and warmth, the image of a woman ready to become Xiao Yan's reliable wife, support, and partner. Wutong once again uses the technique Soaring Ice Dragon. Now he can summon 9 ice dragons at once. In addition to the large-scale battles, this arc is important because it is here that Kylin, as Xiao Yan's wife, fully affirms her role. But where is Xiao Xiao? In the latest trailer, Xiao Xiao doesn't appear. Why? It's true that Xiao Xiao is being hidden until the main episode is released, and she will appear suddenly. Even if she has only a few scenes, she is very important for the future plot. She is the daughter of Xiao Yan and Kylin, the fruit of their love, the continuation of their lives. If the studio wants to reignite interest in the anime, bringing back Xiao Xiao is the only way. All she needs to do is call Xiao Yan Daddy, and all the viewers' discontent will be soothed. The 9th Tianzuan had planned to kidnap Xiao Xiao to use her as a hostage against Medusa. Xiao Ding knew that the Yan alliance was in a critical situation. He turned to Kylin and seriously told her, "If you really can't hold out, take Xiao Xiao and leave at once. She is Xiao Yan's daughter. There must be no mistake." Hearing this, Kylin nodded. But at the most critical moment, Xiao Yan appears. Now he has reached the peak of an 8-star Do Zun. He brings with him 30 Do Zun level experts and makes a spectacular entrance, defeating the 9th Tianzuan and even severely injuring the 4th. However, in the trailer for episode 158, Xiao Yan has not yet appeared. This suggests that scenes with Xiao Yan and Xiao Xiao may only appear in episode 159. Now let's take a look at how these events are described in the original. The great battle had begun. After the enemy's bold words, a cold gleam flashed in Kylin's eyes. She calmly stepped forward before everyone, showing her firm determination. Despite the pressure of the situation, her voice remained steady. She led the Yan alliance and was also the leader of the Snake People race. There was no fear in her. Kylin boldly declared that the Yan alliance had no traitors. Their warriors would rather die in battle than betray their comrades. In the enemy ranks, a man with golden hair and a shining sword stood proudly in the air. His name was Shi Tian. He only smirked in response. He liked proud women like Kylin. He was well aware of her reputation in the northwest and dreamed of capturing her and making her his concubine. He offered the Yan alliance a chance to surrender and hand over the members of the Xiao clan in exchange for mercy. But Kylin only laughed and coldly gave the order to activate the defensive formation. At her command, the soldiers reacted, and a glowing energy barrier rose over the fortress, completely separating the two armies. Kylin then ordered the archers to prepare. Massive ballistas with giant bolts were ready. These special bolts were powerful enough to pierce even an emperor-level cultivator. Shi Tian frowned. Behind him, a cold and sinister voice sounded. The 9th Tianzuan from the Hall of Souls appeared, one of those who had once led the attack on the Falling Star Pavilion. He warned Shi Tian not to allow the Xiao clan to escape. Although Shi Tian was a 6-star Do Zun, he dismissed the concern, believing victory was inevitable. Soon after, he raised his sword and commanded the army to attack. The massive army roared in response and charged. The ground shook from their war cry. Inside the fortress, the defenders tightened their grip on their weapons. The wind howled, and arrows rained down from the walls, cutting into the attacking army. Many attackers died under the walls. Kylin watched the battlefield without emotion. She noticed a group of about 100 figures in the sky. Among them were kings and emperors. They began bombarding the energy barrier. Waves of Do Qi crashed down from above. Kylin quickly gave new orders. Prioritize targeting enemy kings and emperors, and have everyone else support the barrier. Arrows soared into the sky, aiming to take down as many experts as possible. Despite their strength, many enemies were struck and fell. This only ignited both sides even more. The aerial battle erupted, and Do Qi filled the skies. Countless attacks battered the barrier, and its trembling grew stronger. But thanks to its protection, the Hall of Souls faction suffered heavier losses than the Yan alliance. Still, the defenders were becoming exhausted. Shi Tian, watching the shaking barrier, smiled and gave a new signal. Behind him, a black mist swirled, and 100 cultivators emerged. About 30 of them radiated terrifying power. Their pressure distorted the air itself. The expressions of the Yan alliance experts changed. These were the people who could decide the battle's outcome. The cultivators slowly advanced through the air. Arrows shot at them turned to dust before reaching. When they were 1,000 feet from the fortress, they stopped and let out a unified cry. A surge of mighty Dou Qi erupted from their bodies, forming a gigantic energy beast. The beast took shape, smoke puffing from its nostrils. It dove down, aiming at the barrier. The fortress retaliated, but nothing stopped it. The beast endured the counterattacks, then crashed violently into the barrier. Everyone fell silent at the moment of impact. A massive shockwave spread outward. Then, with a loud crash, the barrier shattered. Kylin clenched her fists as the barrier fell. Her cold voice echoed throughout the fortress, calling on the defenders to fight to the end. Behind them lay their homeland and empire. Her words lit a fire in the hearts of the Yan Alliance warriors. Their souls ignited with the will to fight for their homes, their land, and their families. United in spirit, they let out a deafening roar, ready to give everything in battle.